Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. In today's video, we are going to be sitting down and taking a look at the budget I wrote out for myself for the paycheck my husband received on May 11th. We're going to be looking at how much I budgeted versus how much I spent, and we're going to see whether I came in under or over budget for the week. I wrote this budget out with you all last week, so if you missed that video and you want to see, you know, the thought process behind all of these amounts, you can check that video out. Also, I just filmed my transaction tracking for the week where I went through and wrote in all of my transactions and color-coded them. So if that's something you're interested in, you want to see the process, you can check that video out as well. But now we're going to be looking at my actual amounts, what I spent, and how they compare to what I budgeted. So I have my budget by paycheck workbook page here. This is the paycheck bill tracker where I wrote in my budget, and we're just going to be going down each line item and seeing how I did. If I was under budget, I'm going to write in black. If I was over budget, I'm going to write in red. That way I can really easily glance and see, you know, how much I was able to stick to the budget. So let's just get started so this video isn't too long. I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit. I know that the last couple of videos I was zoomed out pretty far, so maybe we'll back up a bit. It's hard to find the perfect balance. Okay, so the first item we're going to be looking at is grocery. I budgeted $100 for groceries, and if we look here, I'm going to actually open this up. I stuck this page here kind of in the middle of my transaction page so that I could easily reference it. If we look here on my color coding sheet, you can see that groceries are in this light pink color, and we're looking at the paycheck week 2 here. So the 11th of May through the 17th of May. I can see by looking that I had just one grocery transaction, which is right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. And it was for $92.60. So I know then that I was under budget. So I'm just going to write that in, $92.60. Since it was under budget, it goes in black. All right. When I had written in this budget, I had just filled up my gas tank. So I knew what I had spent when I wrote the budget. I budgeted $30. That is what I spent. I just realized I never put a sticker down for that when I was tracking my transactions. I totally missed that one, but I do remember that, so that's that. The only other things here are our bills for the week. So I had Michigan Gas for $46. I track my bills in this blue color. You can see here Michigan Gas did indeed come out at $46. So that was as anticipated. And DTE, I budgeted $212, and that is exactly what I spent. So we would be, you know, golden if it wasn't for the fact that I have a couple of unbudgeted expenses here. If you guys watched my transaction tracking video, you know I had a bit of a spending relapse, and I put some stuff on a credit card. It's not a huge amount, and I'm not super worried about being able to pay it off, but I have to be honest, so I wrote it in there. I did not plan for these things. They were not budgeted for. So I'm just going to write here under this bills section an unbudgeted line item. I haven't had to do this in quite a while. I'm really good usually about sticking to the budget, but there was some spending that happened this week. It is what it is. So I didn't budget anything for it, but those unbudgeted transactions add up. Let me pull in my calculator here so I can get an exact total. So I had $69 at Amazon and $158 from Stitch Fix. So I had $227 in unbudgeted expenses this week, which means that I am going to have to take a pay cut myself over the next month or so and these were definitely purchases that I made for myself, so my spending money for the next month or so is already gone. I've already spent it. So that will be used to pay this $227 back. So we're definitely going to be over budget in a big way in this bills category because of those unbudgeted expenses, but it is what it is. It happened. I need to be held accountable for it. So really quickly, let's go ahead and add this up. So we had 9260 plus 30 plus 46 plus 212 plus 227, 607.60. So yeah, obviously because of those unbudgeted expenses, we are way over budget. This should be 607.60, and of course this is not an erasable pen. You guys, I still could not find my red erasable pens. I don't know what happened. So yeah, 607.60 minus that 388, which means we are $219.60 over budget. That is the amount then that is going to be on that credit card that I need to make sure that I pay off over the course of the next couple of weeks. Luckily, like I said, I'm just going to take that out of my spending money, so it's not going to affect the rest of our budget. It's not going to derail the extra debt payments we're going to make to our Walmart card. It'll be fine, but you know, that's something that I need to make sure I'm taking care of, and it's something I definitely wanted to be honest with you guys about. That's that. Moving on, we're going to look at my envelopes. So my husband, who is a rock star, always sticks to his budget. I gave him $40 at the start of the week, and he did really well with that, so that's that. For my spending, I had $40, and in addition to these unbudgeted amounts, I also spent the majority of my spending money. So if we look here at my calendar, my spending is tracked in this purple color, and you can see I had a couple of transactions here. So I spent $27 plus $11 for a total of $38. So I guess technically 2 of those dollars that I have left could go towards this credit card balance. You know, I'm not getting too caught up in semantics. You guys know that right now any extra money that we have left over is just sitting in the bank to kind of build up our buffer. So I had 40, I spent 38. That other 2 will just go into the bank. All right, next up we have Austin. I budgeted $20. I gave that to him at the start of the week, so that was as anticipated. Lawn care was the same. I went ahead and paid for our lawn to be mowed. For eating out, we started out with $40. I track my eating out transactions in this yellow color here. You can see we had 1 transaction for $38. So a little bit under budget there, which is nice. And then for miscellaneous, I budgeted $20. Miscellaneous is tracked in this light green, so I had 1 transaction here of $6. So of that $20, I only spent $6. The rest of it will go, again, back into the bank. So let's see. We were under budget for envelopes, which is nice. Helps offset this a little bit, but not really, because like I said, the money that we have left over is going to go to our buffer, and this credit card amount that I charged is going to be paid by me in the future. All right. 40 plus 38 plus 20 plus 20 plus 38 plus $6 is $162. So of the $180 that I had put into our various envelopes, we only spent $162. And if we do the math, that means we had $18 kind of left over to go into our buffer. Okay, so now we are looking at our sinking funds, which you guys know if you watched my cash envelope stuffing, these were all as anticipated. So $50 went into our campground fund, $20 went to car maintenance, 30 did indeed go to Christmas, 10 for Eric, 10 for holidays, 10 for pets, 20 went to household, 10 went to school expenses, and 50 went to vacation. So that was as expected. I don't even need to add it up. The totals will match, which is good. All right, next up we had our debt challenges. I went through and played some little games with myself to figure out how much money I was going to send to the card we are currently working on paying off, which is our Walmart card, and I came up with $80. If you look here, I track my extra debt payments in gray. You can see that I did indeed pay that $80 to Walmart. And I'm actually going to go ahead and check all of these off because these are all accounted for now. So I planned to send 80, and that is what I did. The only other thing here is our rollover amount, which we leave blank because I don't disclose that information. So this was a super quick and easy results video. Had I not had those unbudgeted expenses, we would have come in, you know, well under budget overall. But again, I'm not beating myself up too much for this $227. There have been many, many, many weeks where I have had extra spending money for myself that I could have held on to, and instead I paid that extra money to our credit cards over the years. Like, if I went back and added up all of the leftover spending money that I sent to debt, I guarantee you that it was well over this $227. Again, obviously, using a credit card while we are trying to pay off all of our debt, it's not the best thing, right? It's definitely not what I should be doing. But again, I'm human. I'm not going to beat myself up over this. It's $227. I typically take $40 in spending money a week. So, you know, I just will not be taking spending money over the next couple of weeks to make up the difference. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not beating myself up over it. However, if I'm finding myself doing this regularly, then that's something that I know that I will need to address, right? In the past, my unbudgeted expenses or my extra kind of swiping was on my Amazon card, and I have, for the most part, completely stopped that. Ever since I paid off that Amazon card, I've been really, really good about not just willy-nilly shopping on Amazon. So I feel like I've gotten that under control. These were items that, yes, I could have lived without, or I could have saved up the money over the course of these next few weeks and then purchased them. Instead, I went for the instant gratification. It means a little bit of red ink on the page, but again, I'm not beating myself up over it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss a video. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. I'd love to have you come back, be a part of the Jwhackers fam. I have my Facebook group and all of my social media links down below if you would like to check those out. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends!